From what I can tell, overnight success, going viral, whatever you want to call it, seems to be more of a curse than it is a blessing. For example, let's think of it in a, I don't know, traditional sense, right? Let's say you win the lottery. You have tons of people. I used to work in retail. You had tons of people in the morning or whenever buying scratch cards, buying lottery tickets, and there was varying degrees of people that did it. You had people in their 30s doing it, and you had people in their 60s and 70s who have been playing this lottery game for 30, 40 years and never won anything, or never won anything substantial. And oftentimes, because I was bored in my job, I would ask these people, "Oh, what would you do if you won however much it is these days? I don't know, £3 million. How many dollars that is? I don't know." I asked them what they would do with the money, and they oftentimes don't know. They've not even thought that far. But a common thing you see with lottery winners and people that have become successful overnight, quote unquote successful, is that they end up losing all the money eventually. In a year's time, they've spent all the money, they're in terrible debt, they're back to square one, or even worse than where they were when they started before they bought the lottery ticket. And why is that the case? Well, all of these people, and I don't mean to criticize, I don't mean to judge, but clearly they do not have a £1 million, $1 million mindset. They are not the kind of people who think like millionaires. They are not the kind of people who work as hard as millionaires. And they are not the kind of people who will be able to handle that kind of money. So they're essentially regular people, oftentimes broke people, who are suddenly given this large sum of money. Now, of course, their external circumstances have changed. They're now classified as a millionaire. But internally, mentally, they don't have a millionaire brain. They have not had those years and years of hard work and toil and failures and learning. They've simply just been given this money for very little. What, they had to spend £1, £2 to buy a ticket. And that's why a lot of people lose it. They don't value the money because they've not worked hard for it. A more, I guess, modern interpretation of this is people wanting to go viral on social media, wanting to pop off on their TikToks, their AI TikToks that they're producing. And it's quite humorous because you see it in so many different instances. Like, for example, the first one that comes to mind is the Chick-fil-A sauce girl. I think that was like a year old thing, or like the Hawk Tour girl, however long that was. Basically, you have this thing where someone becomes viral for like a video, they become known for this thing, they become the Chick-fil-A sauce girl, they become the Hawk Tour girl, and that's all they're known for. They sort of become like a one-hit wonder where they cannot escape this image, and if they try to like build a business off this image of this funny viral video that they made, it's very, very difficult because people just know them for that video. They want nothing but that video, and eventually the popularity is going to die down. Eventually, people are not going to care. They're going to become irrelevant again, and all they're going to be known for is, oh, they were popular for a couple months back in 2023, 2024. And that to me is kind of worse than not becoming famous at all or not having success at all, because you're just going to be known for this one little blip, like this one little I don't know, pulse in the social media wave. And I imagine it can be very demoralizing to think that you had a shot at building something, but you were unable to capitalize on it because people typecast you in a certain way. Another place where I see this is a lot in the self improvement space, where you have channels who essentially they made certain videos. They made like one video that got millions of views, and then some of the videos they made after that got hundreds of thousands of views. And they ended up getting to 100,000 subscribers or more, close to 1 million. But yet their current videos do not meet those standards that they set. They end up getting a couple thousand views, maybe a couple tens of thousands, but they do not reach the heights that they once previously reached. And that to me seems very depressing as well, because sure, there's plenty of people out there who deserve success. There's plenty of people who they'll post 5 videos on YouTube, one of them ends up going viral, getting thousands or millions of views, and they deserve that. But because they made a quality video, but let's say this is the first channel they've ever made and they just happen to have made a successful video. They have not gone through the, I guess, YouTube rite of passage. Because we have certain YouTubers like Mr. Beast who have been making videos for years and years. He's got all this success and become so massive because he's spent like 10 plus years on YouTube making videos, making Minecraft videos, making videos about other YouTubers to the point where he is today. And he's gone through the trials and tribulations of the failures, hardly getting any views on his video, to becoming one of the most popular YouTubers of all time. And I would much rather go through that process than, let's say, upload a couple of videos and I end up having overnight success. Now, from a metric standpoint, it's very, very appealing. Like, I find myself guilty of looking at YouTube Studio, looking at my analytics, but at the end of the day, I would rather me to take 1 or 2 years building up my channel and learning from my mistakes and gaining a lot of knowledge than to suddenly be skyrocketed into the stratosphere and have tons of people know who I am and then not be able to match that success with other videos. Now, there are exceptions to the rule. There are times when people go viral and then they end up building an audience and an audience that sticks around. And that, of course, is very pleasant. But I think 70-80% of the time it seems that people will post a video, it goes viral, and then they cannot meet. They're forever trying to better themselves with that video, which can be good, but it can also be very self-destructive because you're constantly trying to reach something. You're constantly criticizing yourself. You're trying to reach a goal, trying to, I guess, better yourself and always aiming too high, I guess. Again, I'm not saying don't have goals, don't reach for the sky, but it can be very... You can be very self-critical if you're not able to reach the heights that you once did, and I think that can be very destructive for some people. For me, I guess it would just be, something that I just have to deal with. I mean, there is some positive to it. Even if you have a viral video that gets millions of views, you've still got an audience from that. Although your videos might not be able to reach the millions of views that you got on that one video, you can still have a couple thousand people who watch your stuff and they're true fans. I remember reading an article at some point where it's saying you only need 1,000 true fans. You only need 1,000 people who are truly fans of you in order to become successful, build an audience, build a brand, whatever you want to call it. And it is something interesting to think about. I think it's a difference between short-term, I guess, instant gratification and delayed gratification. It is much better to, and this doesn't just constitute for social media, this can go for anything in life. It is much better to build your skills, play the long game, and then in a couple of years' time have that success, then suddenly, I don't know, make a funny Minion meme that goes viral, or make some brain rot post that ends up getting millions of views. Because do you really want to be known for that? Just known for this fluke, this little... be popular in high school for a couple of months and then suddenly you're back being a nobody. And that's why you can't just define your self-worth by social media and what post and the success you have. You've got to define yourself by the content of your character, the skills that you've developed, and the person that you ultimately want to become. And I wish you the best of luck with that, but please keep in mind, stop trying to chase viral success. Just build your skills, build your knowledge in whatever you do, social media, your job. Just don't buy lottery tickets because they're a waste of time. You could use that money for something else. Just be smart, okay? Just do your best. That's all you can do. Thank you for watching this. I hope you have a wonderful day and can learn from my marvelous little brain I have inside my head. I wish you the best of success, and may God bless you. Take care of yourself.